really regarding the Florida law that DeSantis signed into place yesterday. Yes, I'm driving. Yes, I'm driving with one hand, like most people do. I'm good. DeSantis signed in what is being labeled as constitutional carry. Now, as you can see, we're very, very bouncy. These are roads in Louisiana, by the way. Our roads in Louisiana are kind of crappy because of our soil down here. It settles. They're always patching, repairing roads. Anyway, Ron DeSantis in the state of Florida signed into law yesterday what they're referring to as constitutional carry. Of course, this law will go into effect, I believe, July 1st of this year. Look, guys, everybody keeps tossing around the word constitutional carry and celebrating that, 26 states are now constitutional carry. Please, give me a break. It's not constitutional carry. They still can't open carry there. Am I a big open carry advocate? No. Do I think open carry should be obviously legal because the Second Amendment says that it is? Yes, it should be. There should be no restrictions on open carry. The state of Florida, more specifically the Tourism Bureau, really lobbied and fought hard against open carry being a part of this law. That was the original intent, was that they would have a true constitutional carry bill that would go into effect in the state of Florida, which would include carrying concealed without a permit and also open carrying without a permit. Open carry is not legal in the state of Florida. I know that sounds kind of odd, but it's just not. There are a lot of kind of weird anti-gun restrictions in the state of Florida. The Parkland shooting kind of spurred a lot of that. But the fact that they kept that out of there because the Tourism Bureau was so scared of it, Tourism Bureau lobbied saying that if open carry was allowed, that with tourism being a massive draw in the state of Florida, that they assumed somehow magically that people would stop going to Florida because they have this weird dream that people will just be walking around randomly with a bunch of open carry firearms on their side, slung over their shoulder, whatever. That just doesn't happen. I live in the state of Louisiana. Open carry has always been permitted over here. Again, since 1791 specifically, but open carry is legal here in the state of Louisiana. We do not, however, have permitless carry in terms of open carry. We still have to purchase a permit to conceal carry over here. So in the state of Louisiana, having open carry, you rarely see anybody open carrying. Rarely. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying it's not a thing. Most people just opt not to open carry. Most people are going to conceal carry. They just feel more comfortable doing that. Personally, I do. I want to know that if there's any kind of potential crime that's happening and somebody's walking into a location and I happen to not see them, I would rather have the drop on them instead of them having the drop on me. So I don't want them to see that I'm armed. I wear, as you can see, just regular clothes anyway. I don't wear overly tactical stuff. So I'm probably going to not be seen as a person carrying a firearm, which means I somewhat fly under the radar. Does that mean I'm ashamed that I'm carrying a gun? Of course not. That's a stupid thing to imply. It means that I would prefer to be the kind of gray man, if you know what I mean. Just kind of blend in. I don't want the light shined on me when a criminal walks into a place and they intend to rob it. So again, that's just my choice. I would imagine that the state of Florida, in many cases, is going to be just like we are here. If you were to legalize open carry, again, I'm not saying that the Constitution doesn't already legalize that. I'm talking about the state themselves. If they were to allow open carry, I find it hard to believe that there would be any kind of spike in people open carrying. And I also tend to believe that it would have zero impact on anything related to tourism. Tourists don't look at a map or a potential destination to go vacation in and mark it off the list because that state allows open carry. Tell me that's a thing or prove to me that that's a thing and I might listen to you, but that's not a thing. They're not doing that. Ask any tourist anywhere if they considered their destination point that they chose on the terms of whether or not open carry was allowed in that specific state. and I'd be willing to bet you'll get a 0% level of interest in that. It's just not a thing. So here we go again. I think it's, and I don't like to use the term rhino Republicans because I think that's kind of a cheesy term. I would prefer to call them traitors. The traitor Republicans in the state of Florida have themselves fought against a true constitutional carry law in that state for a very long time. The Democrats, we know where they stand. They've always been anti-gun. We know that. So we don't expect them to support any kind of constitutional carry, whether it be open carry or permitless concealed carry. So we knew where they were, but it's the Republicans that have been the problem in the state of Florida and pushing and fighting this off. Now, granted, they're probably really receiving a lot of bribe money from the tourism lobbyists, more specifically Disney, in the state of Florida. They're probably getting a lot of money. I would be willing to bet that if you could trace it back, you're going to find that there's a whole lot of Republicans who have been to Disney World or Disneyland. I don't know which one. I've never been to those places and I don't ever intend to. I think it's Disney World is in Florida. I'd be willing to bet a lot of those Republicans have been there and their family members and friends have been there also. Let's call those bribes. That's what they are. So that's more than likely why you're seeing those people that are not in support of that particular law, because they're benefiting from it. Same old thing, corruption in politics. It just always happens. But I see everybody celebrating right now saying, yay, Florida got constitutional carry. I'm just surprised that we're still calling it that. You know, it's truly not constitutional carry. And I would be willing to bet that more people probably don't find that this is a constitutional carry law that was put into effect. Is it a step in the right direction? Of course it is. I'm not saying that this should not have happened. I'm saying that we're calling it the wrong thing, so that whenever we really try to push for true constitutional carry, which means including open carry in Florida, a lot of people, just like people go, oh, we need to have background checks. They're too stupid to realize that we already have background checks, because the anti-gun left continues to say that we need to have background checks. So my point is, if you say things enough times, people think that, oh, well, wait a minute, we've got that. So now when you lobby next year or whichever year after that to try to include open carry in with true constitutional carry in the state of Florida, a lot of the residents are just going to assume that we've already got that, and they may not support it. They just may sit back and go, wait a minute, I don't even know what they're doing here, because, you know, we've already got that. Didn't we pass that last year? Didn't DeSantis sign that into law? So I just want to make sure that we understand where we're at on this. I think words mean something, and we use the wrong word to describe something, it does confuse less educated people and people that, and I say this in a polite way, people that are ignorant on a specific topic. I use that word ignorant in its true meaning. People that just simply don't know. They just don't know in many cases that they're being misled. So they toe that company line thinking that, well, man, I mean, it's all over the newspaper. We have constitutional carry now. No, you don't. You don't. That's not what you have in Florida. So again, I'm glad they got that. That is a step in the right direction. If I were in the state of Florida, I would be happy with it, knowing that we're progressing and we're getting to that next level of where we need to be. But I don't think the push needs to be stopped. I don't think that we need to sit back and go, whew, we got it, you know, because we don't have it. We don't have what we're looking for. If you truly want to add Florida to that number of 26 states that have it, then you include open carry. I'd be willing to bet, being truthful, that some of those other 25 states more than likely don't have true constitutional carry also. Do I know that? No, I don't. But I mean, I think the odds are pretty good that they probably don't have it as well. So anyway, guys, happy Tuesday to you all. I hope you guys are in a true constitutional carry wherever you're watching this from. I know we're going to push for true constitutional carry in the state of Louisiana next year. We've been waiting for this horrible Democrat governor that we have in Louisiana to get out of here. We have majorities of Republicans in the Senate and the House right now in the state of Louisiana. Unfortunately, we have a lot of those fake Republicans also that say that they're Second Amendment supporters, but truly are not. We also have, for the first time, gosh, I don't know how long, maybe ever, a true supermajority in the Senate and the House also, because we have somebody in the House who is changing parties over to Republican, and that is going to make it a super majority. So they could pretty much pass whatever they want. Again, our problem is we have a term limited governor in there right now who doesn't want it, because I think he intentionally is holding out for a job, knowing that he's term limited out in the Biden administration, maybe a cabinet position if the guy gets reelected, or any kind of other job in the Biden administration. He's just been kind of kissing Biden's butt for a long time. We should get a Republican governor. It's a long story, but we wound up with a Republican governor in the state of Louisiana because 2 terms ago, the Republicans, in their infinite wisdom and stupidity, tried to run David Vitter, who was a U.S. Senator, who was one of the guys who was caught with his name in the book of the hooker, the D.C. Madam. And, it was confirmed that he was in there as one of the clients for the hookers. And the Republicans felt like, just like they always do in their stupidity, next man up is the guy who gets it. In other words, if you've been there X amount of time and you've kissed enough butts, you know where the bodies are buried, and you know all the dirt on everybody, well, you're next in line, so you get it. Knowing full well they had a candidate that could not win, which would have been a landslide victory in the state of Louisiana, they chose to run that guy. They chose to run an unwinnable candidate, somebody who most Republican voters refused to vote for. They sat it out. That's how we wound up with this Democrat governor that we currently have. Well, he'll be out this year. We'll have an election in November, and we'll be done with this guy. I do think there are some very good Republican candidates out there right now. My fear is that we have too many good Republican candidates and maybe a Democrat ekes away a win. Fortunately, I don't think we have any decent Democrat candidates, so I don't think they can win in the general election. I do think there will be a runoff, which at that point we should have a landslide victory for a Republican governor. And if it happens to be Jeff Landry, who is our current Attorney General, that's a good dude right there. And if we're able to get Jeff Landry as our governor, my guess is next year we'll have true constitutional carry in the state of Louisiana. So fingers crossed, hope things work out like that. I don't think it's a stretch to be thinking like that, because I think that's really is what's going to happen. But we shall see, guys. I mean, it's who knows? Sometimes sometimes we get surprised by things that happen, and we're just not sure if the direction that we're going in is the right direction. And I just have a good feeling in the state of Louisiana right now, knowing that we may be there by the end of next year and have true constitutional carry. So again, hopefully we're moving in the right direction. Have a great day, guys. We have Easter weekend coming up. Hope everybody's got some good plans, and looking forward to doing a few things ourselves. We've got a little rock show that we're playing in on Friday night, and then we have a crawfish boil with a bunch of people coming over to my house on Saturday. So we're looking forward to a good holiday weekend. Hope the weather doesn't screw it up too bad. See you guys soon. Talk to you later.